Hello, everyone, and welcome to Grip Lock, Foundation Disc Golf's weekly podcast. I'm Hunter, joined as always by Konner and Trevor, and the construction noise behind us. They always join us. You know, they love it, especially when you have such an important tournament preview. Some would say the most prestigious event of the year, minus Worlds and European Open.
I would say including Worlds and European Open.
Would you say it's more prestigious than Worlds? I would say it's harder to win.
Yeah.
The United States Disc Golf Championship has arrived. We're a bunch of simps for it, so if you hate USDGC, this is not the place for you.
Isn't it just the perfect storm that it's owned by Innova and like we're Innova simps too?
It's owned by US Disc Golf. It's not owned by Innova.
It's the best tournament
I
of the
don't
year.
really care what they say. Like obviously Innova's got its fingers all over it.
Having a presence there for the first time ever this year.
Dang, they're giving presents.
Saw it on Facebook.
Everybody that goes gets a free present.
I don't know if this has been announced. Let me Google this really quick.
With a little thing it says
Everybody gets
pass on.
a titanium Undertaker.
Today we are giving out Crystal Glow Flex TI Nuke Swirl buzzes.
Jawbreaker. TI Nuke Swirl buzzes.
I think Discraft probably at their warehouse, like in their offices, they probably just have a generator with like 3 different types of plastic and a mold. And it's like Crystal Glow Flex Buzz, like TI Swirl Sparkle Undertaker.
They
like
just have a list of adjectives.
Yeah, that's how they create.
Do you mean
their
Ledgestone
discs.
has that?
Yeah, really, it's Ledgestone that it has it. Yeah.
Anyways, USDGC has arrived. It is here. I feel like Christmas has arrived. I am very excited. I'm going to be down there Saturday and Sunday with my wife and son. Trevor's hopefully joining me on Sunday. Konner, when are you?
Fingers crossed.
That's mean, man. Konner can't make it this year, and we're all sad about it.
No, you're not.
I'm excited that I'm going to be there. I would obviously rather you be there.
Absolutely.
I won't be there, and it'll be like my second time in 5 years I haven't been.
This is the only year I've missed since 2015 was 2020 when COVID.
This would be a streak of 2 for me.
2 in a row.
Pretty hype. Actually, technically 3 because
you have to get approval from your boss first, not your work boss.
Yeah, no,
your life boss.
It is true. Still waiting on that. Feeling pretty good. Feeling nervous.
Hopefully that happens
mid podcast.
Mid-show.
I think there's a great chance that it does.
And that's going to be either a great moment or we're just going to end the show. One or the other. A lot of big changes to the course this year.
Hey, if you need somebody to watch Brooks while you're gone, like I can always be like a male presence that'll love him since you're abandoning him.
He's going to think the fridge is his father.
That's okay.
Konner, did you keep your word? Did you look at the caddy book?
I did not look at the caddy book. I promise you that.
All right. Well, we're going to read through the changes here. I'm going to scroll through the caddy book and just kind of tell you as I
feel like these are going to be like darts going into my ventricles.
You know about some of them.
Not
hole
really.
1.
Okay.
Same hole.
Good.
The original. The good hole 1 where you go over the log, 283.
Yep.
It looks like there's no A-B pins this year.
That's such a great hole. I feel like that's such a great hole.
Hole 2 is the first big change. We talked about this on the podcast on Monday. It's now a par 3, 409 feet. It looks like they basically just moved it up to that first initial gap you have to hit.
I watched it. Well, it's a little different. I watched it on Brody's practice round, and this is the same with hole 13, which we'll get to, is the tee shot is a lot less good looking. Like it looks, it's an effective tee shot, and the same with 13. They're both really effective tee shots to where I think you have to throw, in this hole, you have to throw a pushing hyzer that flips a little bit, but it can't fade too much or else it's going left into the parking lot, and you can't keep it straight too long because the OB comes off the fence. So it is they effectively created a good shot, and it's going to be a hard hole because of that. However, it just doesn't look great. And so that is like, it's like the give and take there. But this one isn't quite as bad as 13. We'll get to 13.
I think with hole 2, I love
initially
hole 2. Initially, I'm sad thinking about it because I like hole 2 and I like watching. There's usually a decent diversity in throws there because some people try to throw the roller and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that
But
tee
I'm
shot.
not hearing about it. It doesn't sound that awful. I'm open to change on it. That's how I'm gonna say.
I'm not mad. I'm not too bad about it because like
I am curious.
You keep the upshot in place with
it doesn't
with the
sound.
parking
Yeah,
lot.
it sounds like they're keeping the most important shot.
Oh no, the upshot there's a mandate. You can't go over the parking lot.
All right, well
right.
that
You
does
can
make
go
me
into
sad.
the parking lot. Is what I mean.
You can go into the parking lot. Yes,
right.
there will not be the forehand.
The pin
over.
is close enough to the parking lot that you have to flirt with it to really get to get parked.
But the pin's not in the same location. Doesn't look like.
I didn't really.
It looks like it's in between 2 trees.
I just know you have to fade. Obviously, you have to fade towards the parking lot on that
Yeah.
shot to get.
It looks like they moved the pin if I had to guess, like 70 feet
There's
shorter.
also, so the trees that are right in front of you, there's like technically 2 gaps. Like most people are going to take the hyzer, but I saw one person messing around with like more of a left gap, like it's a little sneakier, and you kind of like throw the disc flat and let it turn. So I'll be curious to see if people mess around with that at all.
Yeah. Now, hole 3 is the next big change. They combined hole 3 and hole 4.
Yeah.
So hole 3, that little electrical box thing that's in the middle next to the fairway, that's a hazard surrounded by that.
Okay.
And then it looks like where, in my mind, you would want to dump a hyzer is all hazard.
Okay.
So it looks like you kind of have to push that a little bit to get a good forehand.
It seemed like it wasn't a lot of difficulty to get past that. What I was watching from the practice round was...
Oh, so you can like push almost to the gap.
So what I was watching in the practice round is it looked like pretty much a stock hyzer off the tee. Not much push, like pretty high and pretty... The ceiling is kind of difficult because you want to get a little bit of height on it, and the ceiling on that tee shot is kind of low. But they were just kind of bombing out hyzers with overstable nukes, it looked like. And then... the only thing you're really focusing on is you do want to throw it hard.
Yes.
Obviously to get as far forward as possible, but then you're really just trying to line yourself up with the gap. And like where I saw Brody and Ezra throwing from was like if you threw your drive on the old hole, on hole 4, and you just didn't get it to go right at all. So you're basically throwing that forehand, and you've got to get it to go like 100 feet before it goes through the double man down.
So I wonder if this is just inaccurate, because like it looks like there is no. Like, it looks like if you get past this, you're in a great spot. If you get past the hazard.
For me, it's like they were landing in here, and then they were throwing like pretty long forehands.
So I wonder if this hazard must be farther back. Regardless,
I really love historic hole 3.
He's got the text.
Just got the okay, boys.
Nice.
He's going to USDGC.
I historically love...
Buying my tickets right now.
I really like the normal hole 3 a lot. Like I just really enjoy that hole a lot because it seems like a simple shot. Sometimes people mess it up, but whenever people park it, it's so electric.
And hole 4 was great.
But
I remember
combining them doesn't sound stupid. It sounds like it could be a cool hole.
That's when I heard it, I was not upset with this change. The only reason I'm upset is like you lost a par 3 and a par 4. You gain a par 4 here and you gain a par 3 on the next hole, but the par 3 on the next hole sucks. I'll just say it. It looks like it sucks. It's the old hole with the double Mando. We played it in Dean's Cup that one year. It sucked. Stupid. It's just the hole itself, I wouldn't say is a bad hole.
You talking about the gauntlet?
By itself, yeah.
It's
the
not
problem
right.
is it doesn't fit the course.
It's not right.
No, it's kind of
like
when
it's kind of like when you went to the golf course that year. Remember that?
Oh,
where
yeah.
they made you you started on hole 3. Hole 3 was hole 1, and then you played 1, 2.
You played that
and then
like
you moved into the
Mando.
golf course. Those holes just didn't feel like USDGC.
No.
That was where the gauntlet was. Doesn't feel like USDGC.
It's the problem. It's like too tight of a tunnel too, to where like you're just gonna see so many pars on that hole.
Yeah.
And
at least it's one Mando this year, and it's not.
Here's
two
what I'll
doubles.
say. I think objectively, hole 3, the new hole 3 is a good
hole
hole.
4. New hole 4.
No, new hole 3.
The par 4.
Yeah, the
okay.
new hole 3 is a good hole. And I think the new hole 2 is also a good hole from what I saw. However, I think that hole 2 was fine, and I think that hole 3 and 4 on their own were both fantastic disc golf holes.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit upsetting that they felt the need to do that, but I understand they're trying to lengthen the course. You know, they wanted some bigger drives. That's, that is what it is. And with that gap shot being as annoying as it is, it will be somewhat entertaining to watch because if somebody hits it, it'll be electric.
Yeah, well, also hole 3, the new hole 3, that hazard will come into play, I feel like. I feel like that's a nervy tee shot to try to get a hyzer out that far without pushing too far left to the road.
Yeah. I'll have to get a better look at
I'm
how
excited.
tight it is.
Hole 3 excites me, the new hole 3 where they combine 3 and 4. Do y'all remember, it was a while ago. Now it's been probably 7 or 8 years. But you used to, if you got a birdie on hole 4, you got to take a picture with that volunteer that was always there. That was a part of the tradition.
I don't remember that.
On hole 4.
was
Is
his
this
name?
old hole 4?
Yeah.
Oh,
No one ever birdied it.
I just remember the guy giving out the stickers if you got the Moz Sticks hole last year. Was it 9 or 10?
Yeah, I remember that.
9.
This guy, pictures, I'm going to Google it.
I'm just thankful they're not bringing back maybe the worst USDGC hole of all time.
Rocks photo op.
Which one, Konner?
It was the one where it was like...
Is that the one you threw in the open field to the Mando?
You threw out in
and
the
then
open
golf
field
green
and then
there?
threw the Mando. It's just
That's the year I played
hole.
Dean's Cup. That hole
That
sucked.
is such a dumb hole. I was so mad when
That
that
hole
happened.
did suck.
That was the year that I was scared that I was going to lose faith in USDGC.
They
But
do.
thus
I mean,
it was
they throw
restored.
stuff in like this and like.
Yeah, so his name was Rock Searle, Searle. He was the annual spotter with his wife Pat, and it was a thing. Like, there's a picture of him with Yuli. Basically, if you got a birdie on that hole, because back then it wasn't. We hadn't fully entered the sidearm era. We were coming up to it. It still was a hard birdie, but it got progressively easier. Better people sidearm got.
Because you could do like the skip.
Well, you
the
could just
skip
bomb a
forehand.
sidearm off the tee, and you could get to where you just
It's
had like
still
a little
that
chip foot.
skip shot.
It was still a
into
very
four-
hard birdie.
Yeah,
It's
it's
super
hard because you have all these things going on. First of all, you have throwing that skip shot. The actual gap that you're turning directly right into is not super wide. Then you have a downhill sloped green. So if you leave it short, that's trouble. And also if you can roll really easily on a hyzer skip play. And then you have the fact that those hedges are really thick. And if you get in them, your putt is super restricted.
The poster on the wall we have
Is
is
that
a
from
Rock
hole
photo
4?
op.
No way.
Nico and Paul birdied hole 4, and so that's Rock's photo op.
Well, there
He
you
just
have
took
it.
the pictures and would upload them to USDGC's Facebook page.
That's
That's
awesome.
funny.
I was just scrolling through this article, and there it is
That's funny.
in 2008.
I bet Nico didn't throw a sidearm.
Yeah, so they.
How do you get that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why it was such a big deal. It's like no one was throwing sidearms back then. But yeah, last few years,
It's one of my favorite greens in disc
I
golf.
feel like something happened to Rock. I don't want to say that, but I feel like something might have. It hasn't happened for a few years. But that was like the iconic thing with hole 4. I distinctly remember it.
I want to be the new Rock.
Okay.
Can I take the baton?
And then
Never
hole
mind,
4.
I won't be there.
Yeah. Hole 4 is 304 foot, that like tunnel shot, the gauntlet. It's only one Mando this year, which effectively forces you down it.
I'm honestly thankful
But-
for that, just because this hole won't really make a huge difference in the event, and I don't want it to.
Yeah. No, I agree. Hole 5 looks the same as last year, I believe. They're not teeing over the water initially. They tee up on the right. I think that's where it was last year.
Do you know I was
Up on
talking?
the
When I was
grass.
talking to Shoestrick yesterday. Subtle flex. He said that he had birdied 5 and 13, like the last 5 times in a row or something. Both of them are he's on some crazy streak with
That's
those.
wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So 5.
Didn't they move the tee for 5?
No, it's right here.
Why did I feel like Brody said they moved the tee?
I mean, did they have it over the water last year?
No.
Okay, then no, it doesn't look. It looks the exact same.
Oh, they moved the pin
Yes.
That's
They
right.
moved the pin like
further towards the water, apparently.
25 feet left, so it's closer to the water. I feel like they've had the pin there in years past before.
Potentially,
I
yeah.
feel like that was like a B
I mean,
pin.
basically, like last year, I felt like unless you were putting back this way, like towards the water, your putt was never going to be super dangerous. But now it might be like
It could be
You
dangerous
could have a lot
multiple
more
directions.
dangerous putts, yeah. Which I like.
So hole 5 is always exciting. No huge change there.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the year where they didn't have the Mando? You could throw around the
Yeah, it was
trees.
so boring.
That sucked.
That was
Hole
6
5 really comes down to the second shot.
Yeah,
I feel like.
very much so. 6 the same, 7 the same, 8 looks the same, if I'm not mistaken. 9 I haven't heard from Brody again. They looked like they removed the mozzarella sticks from by the basket.
The Moz sticks are on the caddy book, but then at one point there was like fake pine trees,
Yes.
2 of them or 3 of them.
like Christmas trees.
Yeah, they looked like Christmas trees.
That was tweeted on. It was posted on Facebook and then tweeted that had replaced the mozzarella sticks in front of the tee. So it was like fake Christmas trees. So I'm curious to see if that's there. I don't like the fake Christmas trees or the mozzarella sticks, but if it's like, hey, you have to pick one or the other, I would go with the Christmas trees.
Yeah, no, well,
I would.
ooh, I don't know about that one.
Neither are good.
Yeah.
But if you have to pick,
Well, I'll say this. I liked the gaps that the Christmas trees presented better, but
if they were more realistic looking,
they were
it'd be fine.
they were more realistic.
The problem
looking, it'd
was
be
it
great.
looked like they went to Hobby
yeah.
Lobby and just got like a 8-foot skinny Christmas tree.
Gotcha.
That's what it looked like. If they turned the lights on them, plus 10 points for Gryffindor. 10 looks the same. Island hole. Or not island hole. Island if you go for it. The T signs are way less descriptive than previously. Hole 11 is the next big change. Not really a good way to describe it, but basically where you would normally lay up the straight shot if you're playing for par, they put a hazard circle in the middle of the fairway. So now you either have to lay up
Interesting.
shorter or get aggressive.
Oh, so you got to go even shorter than people used to go?
Yeah, because that's the end of the hedges right there.
Yeah.
And so it's shy of the end of the hedges.
Because you used to be able to throw a pretty full power drive. So they're wanting people to go for it.
They're wanting people to make a decision on the tee instead of making a decision where you're based on where your tee shot lands.
Yeah.
So they're making people think.
So hard. I've always felt like just blast the roller and just see what happens.
And then on the left, the bubbles look a little bit different on the left to me.
They look kind of big. That fairway is so scary.
It's terrifying.
11's gross.
They did the similar thing on hole 12, but that's all hazard on 11. 12,
They put a bubble in
they
there.
put a bubble at OB, again, kind of where you want the drive to land.
Oh, like if your drive would hyzer out
So
a
if you're
little
not going, so you know where the drop zone is?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like up on the hill, just right and a little shy of the drop
Which, to be
zone.
fair, nobody
okay.
really lands up there. Like most people land down in the valley.
It seems like basically they're saying if you're gonna go for it, you have to really go for it now.
Yeah.
So it's again making like before it felt like this hole people could just kind of chuck it, and like once I see where my drive lands, then I'll decide how to play the hole.
Yeah.
Now it feels again like you have to on the tee be like I need to lay up really conservative or go for it. Brody was saying when it's not windy for them, it was very easy to clear that, but when it was windy, then the hole got a little tricky because then you actually had to make the decision, which tells me for shorter throwers, they're going to have to make a decision on the tee.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, I have to really crush it to clear the OB or not. And then the drop zone looks to be about the same place. Green's the same place. 13 is completely different. 888, no more. You don't play over the parking lot. You don't go to that little island. You throw up over this hill initially. The hole itself seems okay.
Initially?
Yeah, so you're like, so
Is a tee pad in the same spot?
do you know?
No,
So do you
it's a
know
very
where
weird
the
spot.
US? Do you know where Throw Pink Women's tee was last year? Up on top of that hill.
Yeah.
It's over that
behind
hill,
it.
down
Okay.
there.
This is
Okay.
the worst looking tee shot I've ever seen, but it's another one where they've created a very effective shot because what you have to do now is you're essentially looking kind of towards the parking lot. So you have to get your disc to almost flex something overstable and get it to push towards the tree line and then fade out as late as possible. So you kind of push forward left. And the reason you have to throw a flex instead of a hyzer is because the hill is so high that a hyzer flip with that kind of height, you would stall it. So you have to throw it low and overstable and get it to flex, push, and hyzer out. It's a very cool tee shot. And like on camera, if you're standing on top of the hill, like it'll look cool on camera. In person, like you definitely won't want to go back there. You won't know.
No, they probably won't let spectators back there.
You won't know anything about where the shot goes. You want to be in the parking lot. The other thing I noticed is the basket is far enough back left now that it's not as scary, dangerous as I thought it was going to be. Like the approach shot is still, all I was thinking was like how hard it is to get inbounds down there when you were going that way, playing the old way, like to get across the parking lot. They moved it like further back left, it seems, to where like you kind of just punch it back there. It's still a really hard. This hole is going to be played pretty
It sounded
tough.
like the toughest part was the two trees on the left of the basket make it where if you go left, you don't have
can
a
get
putt.
blocked off.
So you almost need to push the OB right or be short to have a putt approaching the green. So hole 13 was a big change. And then it seemed like the rest of the course is the same. It seems like they didn't touch 14, which is the Coliseum hole, 15, the Triple Mando, 16 looks the same, 17 they obviously didn't touch, and then 18 is the exact same. So that's the course changes. Most people, well, I'll say some people hate this course. Love it or hate it, though, you can't deny the effect it has on the tournament.
The
Like
most exciting-
score-wise,
the most
Yeah,
exciting
it-
tournament of all time.
It's the most effective course there is.
that's what I'm saying. Like people can and will hate on the design all you want. And this year, I'm curious once I see it in person. They're using rocks to define the OB instead of stakes and rope. But they also
that keeps people from rolling, like back in bounds, right?
no, like they're spaced. So basically, where the
Okay,
stakes
okay.
would be is they put a rock there.
I understand.
And there's
That is
the
a good
ropes on the
point. Like,
ground, but
I realize the rocks probably are not massive, but like they will present a bigger target than a stake more than
Yes.
likely.
but I'm
So that'll be interesting to see how many people get good rock kicks.
I'm curious though how easy it's going to be as a spectator to understand what I'm looking at. But I believe they also changed the grass length, which will help drastically. So like OB, which is also going to be interesting because
Yeah,
a
that'd be
lot of
good.
the OB you aren't going to be able to like skip in because a
Yeah.
lot of the OB is thick grass and then the fairways
like
are
that.
thin. So like you hit the fairway, you might get a big skip OB, but you can't play the skip shot
I like
from the
that.
OB in. I think most
I
courses
think that's
should
an
do that.
improvement.
Yes. I think they tried to do it a little bit last year, but it looked pretty drastic this year. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
But what I was saying is like regardless, you can't watch this tournament and argue that the course isn't effective at what it's trying to do. It
creates
players
drama.
It makes players think every single shot. Like there's not a shot that you can stand and just be like, okay,
that's the thing from
breather.
When you get into that final round, and you pretty much like at this point, pretty much from the get go, but like there's not a single hole where you like if you're watching somebody who has the lead, for example, and you're rooting for them, there's not a single hole where you can just be like, okay, this one's easy. This is just kind of a push. They're just all difficult.
Yeah.
And the ones that aren't that difficult to like maybe make a huge mistake on, like 16, for example, it's a tough birdie.
Yeah.
And you still can go out of bounds.
You can still go into
Yeah,
the
you
hazard
still
and
can-
have a
you can
long putt for 3.
Yeah.
James Conner, when he won, he hit that like 45-footer from the
Yeah.
hazard, stepping over the rope.
It's just like, it's so hard.
The course, it just makes people, the no lead is safe. Regardless. 17, they've changed it over the years. I actually need to look up if they changed the rules at all for 17 this year. 2022 Caddy Book. Because like previously when the tournament first started, you just threw until you were on the island. 17 now.
Oh, yeah. Isn't it 3 shots in there?
OB options limited to previous lie. Player may proceed to island green spot after 3 total OB
3.
throws. So now you can go 2, 4, 6, and be putting your 7, correct?
Yeah, I think so. But
1,
like, I think
2,
it's a pretty
throwing
far
3,
putt.
4. Yeah.
So you're pretty much taking an 8 if that happens.
They've made it where the worst you can take is an 8, where before
you could take
whatever
number.
you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a huge problem. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'd rather it not be that way. But for pace of play's sake,
But
I understand.
realistically, someone could have a 6-stroke lead and lose it all on 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what makes this tournament
and
so
also,
exciting.
and realistically, in this event, nobody is going to have more than a 6-stroke lead going into 17. Like, that's insane.
One thing that people don't fully they encapsulate it pretty well on coverage, but until you're there, you don't understand the walk from 16 to 17.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Oh, it just like you already 17. If you put 17 just on a normal course, it is not that hard of a hole.
Yeah.
If you remove all of the pressure of the tournament, you remove all the history of people collapsing on it, you remove all of that, and you ask pros to throw it, the majority of them are hitting it probably 80-90% of the time.
Yeah.
But then you add in the tournament pressure, then you add in the major pressure, then you add in the historic collapses, like, sorry to say it, Johnny McRae, 2014.
Right.
You add in all of that that's happened, the history of the hole, and it just, when you're walking from 16 to 17, that's the important thing to me about 17 is the walk from 16 to 17 because it's almost impossible not to think about it.
No, yeah.
Like if it was just like you
Because-
tap out on 16 and you walk across the street and you're throwing 17 immediately,
Yeah.
you could just like feel your momentum ride it.
Yeah.
But that walk, I mean, it's probably a quarter of a mile.
It's a hike. Yeah. I mean, you're thinking about it. I mean, I remember when Paul was going to 17 last year, I think it was the final round. He literally went in the porta potty on the way there.
Yeah.
And like he was like, "Hey, can you watch my bag real quick?" And like hopped in the porta potty and then walked up. Like it's like like there's that much time in between that he had time to like catch up and get back up to the tee and like there was no big deal. It is like it's legit and like there's a huge gallery walking up the road.
Last year, the hill of hole 1 was full of people when you
Yeah.
were trying to watch 17 and 18.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty intense.
I'm so excited. Gosh darn it, I love this tournament.
It's pretty intense.
To me, also, what's important about this event is FPO Player of the Year. I think is locked up. Christian Tatar is Player of the Year. I don't think there's really an argument. around it.
Yeah.
NPO, however, USDGC holds a lot of weight. I think the final major of the year. There's a few people that if they win, it separates them to make them Player of the Year. I think Paul, Ricky, or Simon. If any of them win, if any of them win, I think they're Player of the Year. Because Simon would have
agree.
5 wins with 1 major, Paul would have 3 wins with 2 majors, and then Ricky would have 5 wins with 1 major. But the other two, like if Ricky wins, 5 wins, Ricky is the easiest. If no one wins, if none of them 3 win, and they all play similarly to each other, Ricky's the Player of the Year. If Paul wins, 2 majors, 1 Pro Tour,
Tough to argue.
tough to argue against that.
Yeah.
1 less win, but 2 major wins. And then Simon, if he wins, he didn't have the season Ricky had,
He had the most wins,
but
though,
he would
and a
have
major.
5 wins and a major.
Yeah.
So
And
I
at the
think
end of the day, you can say what you want about like average finishing place and like that. Sure, that's important, and especially when you're trying to make your living out there, like that's very important to consistently be cashing high. But those guys at the top of the game, and like in the grand scheme of things, who cares about like top 10s? Like if you win 5 times in a season, Simon could care less about a time that he took 29th.
Well,
like,
because that's the thing is like people
he got
aren't-
5 wins. Like
we've talked about this somewhat before. Like people aren't going to remember Simon came like I can't even remember where Simon came bad.
As
People are going to remember Simon had 4 wins this year.
Exactly. Nobody's going to be like, yeah, but his average finish wasn't that good. Dude had 4 wins.
Like
people
4
wins,
aren't,
4 wins.
and when you look at the grand scheme of a career,
it's
like
wins.
people
yeah.
don't remember that Paul came in, was it like 60 whatever at USDGC in 20?
Yeah.
19.
I can't even tell you what year. 2019, whatever it was. Like he had an ankle injury or something? But like you don't remember that. You remember how many times he's won Worlds and US champ and European Open. Like he's a 16-time major champion.
He is a 3-time US champ, right?
15, 18, 20.
18, 20.
Yeah,
1.
21.
Yeah.
15, 18,
Okay.
21.
I was like,
Yeah.
hope I remember.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you remember that.
Yeah.
So like if Simon wins 5, the rest of his season finishes are irrelevant.
Yeah,
He won 5 in a major. If Ricky wins, same thing. Like if Ricky wins undisputed player of the year, no one can even have an argument against him. If Paul wins, I think people could try to argue Ricky,
but I mean,
I don't think it's relevant.
1 less win, but 2 majors to 0.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be relevant, but people would try. Paul, people would at least try to argue. Simon, I think people might try to argue based on his average finishes, but like you're saying, wins matter, especially now we're talking a major win.
And I just think too with the field being where it is now and it being so hard to win, like the weight of winning has changed, and that's just how it's going to be from now on. Is like wins are just going to be. It means so much more. It's not like it used to be where like wins were expected and they were expected to go to the top 5 guys in just a rotating fashion. You know, winning even for the top guys, a win is a big deal on this tour. So yeah, you have to realize that is like ultimately the narrative that's going to stick is when did you get the job done and win. Second place is not going to matter.
Yeah.
Because like just earlier I was trying to think of who came, like how many times have certain players come in second at USDGC. Like I don't remember. Like if you were in a playoff, I might because you were even closer to the win.
Yeah.
But other than that,
no. It's this event also. I think this year an important change that happened was it's still technically a pay-per-view, but it's a pay-per-view where if you're a Disc Golf Network subscriber, you can watch it.
yeah.
So it's a pay-per-view because you have to be subscribed to Disc Golf Network.
Right. It's
But
nothing.
it's nothing
different.
additional.
Yeah.
As far as unless I've misunderstood, it's nothing additional, which I think that's crucial.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the pay-per-view model. I don't hate it. I think it was way too expensive last year and the year previously. And let me just double check Disc Golf Network before I mislead our entire audience.
Yeah, they're like, it's an extra $50.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's $250.
And all you get is a Shimmer Star strike.
USDGC. You know, I really wish. Who is getting so many emails right now? Is it me?
Yep.
Oh, it is me. That's so irritating. Konner
just like walks over to your computer and like
2021. Yeah, like 2021.
Hey, I'll get
what
that
is
for
the
you.
Gold Pass? It was $100 in 2021.
That came with a disc though. See, and I remember one
Criminal.
year if you had that Gold Pass though, like your disc was pretty much immediately going to be able to be flipped for like $70 or something. So it was like it wasn't that big of a deal because that was during the time where like every disc flipped for like triple value.
I mean, why can't I just see? Like, why is it this hard for me to find if I can watch USDGC for free as a Disc Golf Network subscriber?
Their website is
why
impossible.
is that so hard for me to just? I just want to. I'm just asking a question. Can I just watch it? It looks like I can watch it. So
Look at the offerings.
USDGC content
There you go. That
offerings.
wasn't too bad. That was like record time.
All live broadcasts and bonus content is included in subscription. Yes. Okay.
God
So Disc
bless.
Golf Network's providing live coverage, and it's included in the subscription. So there you have it. So I think that's. What did we just say? They crossed their subscribers 40,000.
40,000.
So like 40,000 people have access to watch this live. That's great.
That is great.
I think that's big time. And obviously USDGC is going to be making a killing on the in-person
I
spectators.
mean, they're going to make a killing on me.
Yeah, it's $25. Think of
They're
it.
going to make $25 for my ticket on Sunday, and then they're going to make an additional $1 million worth of merchandise sales.
But I'm going to say like there's going to be over 1,000 people there on Sunday at least.
Easily. Probably 2,000.
So let's 2,000 people. Saturday. Let's just say Saturday, Sunday, 2,000 people. Slightly discounted rate because some of them are going to have the 4-day passes. So let's just average $20 a person. That's $40,000 in just spectator revenue. Like,
it's good money.
that's good money. That's the type of stuff that needs to happen to make these events really sustainable.
And then, I mean, I would bet average spend of each person is probably going to be somewhere but like around $10, and that might be lowballing it.
Yeah.
That's probably lowballing it.
That's probably lowballing it, but like,
Well, plus people are paying to vend at the the
just
championship village.
So just think about that. That's an additional maybe 20 grand.
That's what I'm saying. They're bringing in plenty of
Lot
money.
of money.
And so like that's the type of stuff that I think is crucial to the growth of the sport. Is like when these events can have big purses, have big tournaments, have big venues, be able to accommodate this many people, and then this many people show up, and it's like, oh shoot, like we can break even on all the logistics stuff because we're gonna make 60 grand.
Has anybody looked at the weather?
Gorgeous, 70 and sunny.
I knew it was going to be good here, so I was like, it probably is going to be good there.
It's a high of 70 on Saturday, a high of 69 on Sunday.
That tropical storm, we absolutely
Sunny.
whiffed it. Just hit it with the spin move.
Yeah.
Missed it right in the schedule.
I am so freaking excited. All right, let's do some predictions here. We can just like, if you can't tell,
I am high on the USDGC
love
right
USDGC. Dang it!
I'm going to eat the grass as soon as I get there.
Yeah, that's what it's my routine.
Yeah, just going to start eating the grass.
I walk up and just take a bite.
Yummy.
Predictions this year or this week. Points are worth double because it's a major. Going into it, I have 142.5 points. Konner has 104. Trevor has 100 points. So very important weekend. I actually got one of our warehouse workers, Nolan. No offense to Nolan. He's the one who knows the least about disc golf in the company.
He admits it.
I don't think he'll take offense to that. He's definitely not listening, so that's fine.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
I texted him and just said, I texted him a list of MPO and FPO players because obviously
he only texted him 3 players each, so
Throw Pink Women plays the same course. Pars are different here and there. They do have some short tee pads that are different
distances.
Different caddy books at different distances and stuff. When I was talking about USDGC, I view them as the same event because this should be USWDGC as well, and so
a major in our hearts.
This should just be United States Disc Golf Championships, and it should be MPO and FPO. The fact that they have to separate it into a different event, and I even have to bring it up that it's a different event.
It kind of offends me that whenever I look on the PGA's website, I have to go to a different event to make my FPO picks.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb, especially next year. No offense to Burlington, North Carolina. Very excited for USWDGC to be there. Excited for them to get a major. The courses there are cool. It shouldn't be. It's the weekend before. So like, you really think that we're going into USWDGC and we're not thinking like, yeah, but Throw Pink Women's next weekend. So
yeah,
right.
So like, that's the real use.
I've literally heard from FPO players they care more about Throw Pink.
Someone could win back-to-back USDGC titles as a woman. You could go,
bro. If you sweeped it,
you could go USWDGC, Throw Pink Women's.
Imagine you win WDGC and everybody's like, yeah, but who really cares? Then you just win the next one too.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
How about that?
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
take your pick.
Haley King won a major, USWDGC, but like, look at the course they're playing compared to the course that they're about to play. Yeah. Like, whoever wins Throw Pink Women's, I mean,
it was a pitch and putt.
That's the major winner in my heart. Like, I'm sorry. It just is.
It's a major in our hearts.
It's a major in my heart. You can buy the merch now. FoundationDisc.com.
We probably still have time. We could just whip up a printful today.
Well, I don't think it would come in time.
Not for us.
Oh, to sell it?
Do you think, is there any way we could turn around?
I could get a shirt made.
That's what I'm saying.
Before the week before.
We could even get Benaya to
Should we just do a major in our hearts and just wear pink shirts to say a major in our hearts?
I mean, I think they'd be electric. I think we would do them white and have pink text.
Oh, white with pink text.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
A major in our hearts, and then have the heart somewhere in the text.
Or it's a white shirt, pink heart, white text inside the pink heart. It says a major in our heart.
There's a lot of options.
There's a lot of options.
We could go pocket, front pocket, back. Who knows?
Who knows? You know what? If we end up making the shirt for ourselves to wear to Sunday, then the shirt will be on our site. That's how we'll do it.
Okay.
So if the shirt gets made for us, we'll make the shirt for you. If you guys don't get a shirt, we don't get.
We don't get a shirt, they don't get, is what you mean.
No, I more meant it that way. Like, I wasn't going to make a shirt for them and I not get
it. Okay.
Like, I don't want to do that. I want the shirt.
No, respect.
But yeah, it's a major in our hearts. So, like, to me, USDGC is MPO and FPO. Like, they're not two separate events. Mm-hmm. I know they are, but they're not. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You riding with me? All right, so back to predictions. We're going to pick MPO and FPO for USDGC. And yeah, we're counting major points for FPO as well because it's a major in our hearts. So
I feel very confident about my picks.
I
I'm
get that
excited
it's an
about them.
A tier. It's not. Throw that crap out the window. It's a major.
Throw that
It's a
crap
major.
out the window. Come
Yeah.
on.
Get your stuff together.
What the heck?
Take your crap, smell it, throw it out the window.
Yeah. Ew. Out the window.
Nice.
I'll go first. Well, actually, was there Trevor's trivia? Did I
Selfish.
skip Trevor's
There's
trivia?
no Trevor's
Okay.
trivia in
It's
the
a
previous
preview.
show.
I didn't think so, but USDGC, Trevor could get giddy. So
We had a USDGC Trevor
Here's my trivia question: Who are the predictions that Hunter Thomas has?
let me go. Okay, so Nolan texts me,
Let me look at mine again.
and he has me taking Paul Macbeth in third place, Mr. Nate Sexton in second place, and Ricky Wysocki taking it down. I love those picks.
That's pretty good picks. I don't agree with the Nate Sexton second place pick,
But
but
Nate Sexton could just pop off and win this thing.
I mean anybody can.
Exactly. And Nate Sexton historically does very well here.
Love that pick from Noel.
Yeah, Nolan, genius, great move.
Dark horse Nolan.
Dark horse Noel.
Trevor.
I'll
got
go. I'll go.
no.
I feel like
He
I
said
called
my
on
name.
Trevor.
He said my name.
he pointed at me.
How
though,
on
you were
earth-
looking.
Trevor, how on earth could you
It was
get
just
that
a little
mixed up?
gesture.
I felt like it was more dramatic if I went first since I felt like it was more dramatic. But you go ahead.
All right, fine.
No, it's fine. Connor, go
Connor.
first.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Trevor.
I won't. I literally refuse to go.
Okay.
Oh, that's crazy because like
All
I
right, you
won
know
either.
what? Both of you are being silly. Pick the number that's behind my hand.
I
Between
really-
1 and 5.
Five.
Whoever's closer goes. Connor, what's behind my hand?
2.
It was 2. It really was 2.
Dang.
Should have known. It's
I
on your
would.
wrist.
I was not trying to be. I apologize, Trevor. I was not trying to be a turd to you. I
Can
just
you
thought it'd be more
say-
dramatic
you know what?
if I went first.
Never
I'm
mind.
okay.
Trevor goes first.
Good, Trevor.
Okay.
Are
so
you
I've
going?
got
Someone freaking go!
I've got Dickerson in third, Gannon Burr in second,
Yes.
and Paul winning.
All right. Paul Gannon Dickerson.
Okay. I was very tempted to pick Chris Dickerson, but every time I've picked him this year, it has led to me being sad and
This
in
is
a corner alone.
I will say this is the event Dickerson's going to win. Because he's had like a season where you're like, dang, Dickerson's kind of the letdown. And then boom, win.
Yeah, I don't think so because I didn't put it in here.
Okay.
And I'm sticking to it. I have Ricky Wysocki in third place.
Okay.
And these next two, I'm very confident it's going to come down to a battle.
Okay.
But I have Paul in second
Okay.
and Gannon Burr as our
Y'all
US
both
champion.
think Gannon Burr y'all both have Paul Gannon in the 1-2 spots.
I'm glad you picked Gannon to win. At least, so it's
Yeah,
at least-
I wanted to make it a little bit more spicy and not pick Paul to win.
All right.
But-
Well, if Trevor gets Dickerson right in third, he could.
If I get Paul to win and Dickerson in my top 3, then I'm in really good shape.
Yeah.
Which is a good
gain
call.
some points.
I mean, Paul is probably going to win.
Connor, roll with your FPO. What do you got?
I have in third, I have Missy Gannon.
Okay.
And then I have Henna in
Okay.
second, and I've got Kristen in first.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I feel like those are pretty solid picks.
Kristen, Henna, Missy. is what you said.
Missy, yeah.
Trevor, what you got?
I have got Missy in third, Owen in second, Kristen in first.
Love that.
I thought about throwing Owen in there, but I feel like what I've seen of Henna this year, she's been doing pretty well.
I will say this is where
I watched
this is-
Hannah like 6 putt
Yes.
last event, so I could never
True,
pick her
I
again.
forgot that was her.
This
can
is
never pick
where
her
this is
again.
where Nolan really let me down. Really let me down. Valerie Mandahano, he picked Valerie Mandahano to win. That's okay.
That's
that,
not ridiculous.
That could happen. That's not ridiculous. He put Paige in second. Not gonna happen.
No.
I don't think Paige in this course
She's
do
out.
not
She's checked
mesh.
out.
And then he put Henna in third. So I don't have Kristen in my top 3.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I basically just gave up free points.
I might pull ahead.
Free points if ever wants them. Basically is what I did with my top 3. But
Maybe
hey,
not.
I
You never
rode
know.
with Nolan.
You never
I
know.
stand with Nolan.
Who did Connor have in second and third?
Connor
Henna and
went
Missy.
Henna Missy.
Okay.
Dark horse pick. I'll roll with me. I didn't have Nolan pick this because it would be way too hard to explain outside the top 50, but in the event, so I just picked it myself. Mr. Silas Schultz is my dark
Yeah.
horse pick.
I like
He's
that.
been kind of popping off recently. I think he's got some good momentum. He's got enough distance to mess with this course. I like the guy.
I
That's
like
it.
him.
I ride with Silas.
I got Austin.
Not that Silas, although I would ride with you, Silas.
I got Austin Hannum.
Trevor got awesome.
Nice.
He's got a
Hannum.
sidearm. He's done okay at USDGC the last few years.
Yeah.
He's someone who could
that's a
sneaky
pretty
win.
good pick.
I don't think he's sneaky win, but I think he could sneaky come in like the top 25.
I think he could sneaky win.
I would sneaky like if he came in the sneaky top 25. Sneaky.
I have.
Wait. What did we say if a dark horse pick won? Didn't we make a rule
We
early?
did. I think we said it was like, I want to say we said it was like 10 to 15 points.
So
somewhere
for
in
a
that
major,
range.
be 20 points.
I don't know. We'd have to find the footage.
I don't know
for
how we're
sure.
gonna find it.
Somebody would find it.
Do we
for
want to
us.
re-agree on a different number or on
right
a number?
now?
I say if your dark horse pick wins
this
for
or-
a major, 15 points.
I would
Sounds
say
good.
that's fair.
Because like this, it could happen.
Yeah.
So, who's your dark horse pick, Konner?
My dark horse pick, after much consideration,
Come on. Did you do it?
is Barry Schultz.
Heck yeah, Konner. That is an incredible pick.
The reason why I picked him was because Hunter was like,
I
Connor,
respect the crap
I
out
you
of
should
that
pick.
pick.
About dark
Connor
horse
was
this
like,
week.
you should pick Barry Schultz, and I was like, I'm not gonna pick Barry Schultz.
He is a
And he was
lock
like,
in
no,
the top
seriously.
50.
He was like, last year he
feel
came in.
good
He
about
came
it.
in 51st,
And the year
I
before
was
that,
like,
he came 52nd.
I was
The
like-
year before that, he came like top 15.
I was like, I don't care. You really think Barry Schultz is getting better every year, and the field isn't getting better as well? And then he was like, blah blah blah. He's like a fine wine. And then I was like, I don't think so. And then I proceeded to continue to pick. I continued to pick a different person for like 20 minutes. I would just pick a different person like every minute. And then I would look, and they all got worse than 50th place last year. Barry Schultz whacked them all.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you
doesn't
know
mess
what?
around.
I do love Barry Schultz from the bottom of my heart. And I hope that this time next week, I am drunk on the aged Barry Schultz wine because he just won USDGC.
That's the thing, dude. Barry Schultz is going to throw those DX
You'd have the
rocks.
people behind you, that's for sure.
He's going to throw those DX rocks all. He's not going to blow up.
No,
That's the
he's
best
not.
thing he got.
He's not.
Because like Austin Hannum, he's going to get aggressive. He's going to be ripping forehands. You know what happens when you have that much speed on a disc? Skips. You know what happens when you skip? OB.
However,
you know what
this
doesn't happen
year-
when you throw
this
DX
year-
rocks? No skips.
Here's the
That
problem
is
with
true,
all,
but
the-
this year,
all those little OB bubbles. Barry Schultz gonna be staring at him like, I can't go past that.
Yeah.
That's what I was
going
gonna
to
say,
just
the-
flip up beast that just hides it right before it.
However,
Par,
this year,
par,
Upshots
this
for
year,
birdie are gonna be from like
this year
500 feet
hurts.
away.
This year is the most dangerous year for somebody who is a safe disc golf player because they've made all the safe shots harder.
But
Yeah.
not if you're super safe.
Yeah, but super safe means you cannot make birdie. I don't think.
Yeah, but Barry Schultz can just par his way to a top like 40
And
finish.
another thing
The
that
course got harder.
another thing they did to 12 that we forgot to mention along with that bubble is that apparently they tightened it up into that left corner where people would lay up in that hyzer. Apparently that got tighter.
That's okay. He's gonna throw his KC.
That hole must be real hard because that was the only
what
saving
did you
grace
what
I
did
had
you just
there.
say?
Well, how far away is that?
Just repeat the
I
words
said
you just
that's,
said.
I said that's okay. He's just gonna
Oh,
throw his KC.
I literally thought you said that's gay. He's gonna throw it. I was like, what, Konner?
No, I said
So-
I said
I was
that's
like, we need to pause and play that back.
I said that's okay. He's just gonna throw his KC AVR
That's
right
true.
up in there.
He's just gonna lay
He
it
do
up.
be throwing KC AVRs.
Yes.
Yeah.
He like
And
literally
DX rocks. We're forgetting how good this
Barry-
man is with a rock.
Very literally
He,
is-
he
I
is
love
very
that
good
pick.
with the rock.
I love that pick, Konner.
Thanks, man.
His son Silas Schultz is probably gonna beat him, but I love the Barry Schultz pick.
I mean, if Silas Schultz doesn't do like some kind of Instagram video with Barry Schultz where he like morphs into Barry Schultz, then I don't think I think I'm going to unfollow him.
Is that a promise or a threat?
I'm just kidding. I'm not. I would never.
Okay. Well, there you have it. USDGC week has arrived. It's going to be live on the Disc Golf Network. If you're going to be down there, I'll be down there Saturday and Sunday. Trevor's going to be down there Sunday. Silas is most likely joining him on Sunday.
I might get like a little party together here on Sunday and get people to watch it.
We're going to make Silas eat his words. He's going to get out there and be like, wow, this place is incredible.
I hope you brought your ketchup, Silas.
Yeah, because you're going to need something to make those words go down smooth. All right. We'll talk to you on Monday when we are
pretty good.
decked out in USDGC merch.
Dude, I hope they got sunglasses this year. Remember
They had
when
sunglasses
handing out the
last year.
Cardboard ones or whatever.
They had sunglasses last
or were
year.
they plastic? Were
They're
they
I
plastic.
hear hand out plastic ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick?
You want me, I'll bring you back a USDGC rock, Konner.
Thank you.
Dude.
Maybe I
Gross.
won't. I'll bring me back one.
I would like for you to.
I'll text you pictures.
I was going to ask you if you could pick me something up.
I'll pick you something up, man.
I can't wait to get my throw pink mamba this year.
Heck yeah. All right. Talk to you on Monday.